What's the maximum area of a rectangle with a perimeter of 40? All right, that's kind of a crazy feel there. That's a very crazy sounding problem, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to play with this a little bit, all right? So it says, what is the maximum area of a rectangle with a perimeter of 40? So let's take a look at this, all right? First of all, understand there's a couple of things here. A rectangle, what does it look like? That's the first thing we're looking at here. What does it look like? Well, some of you say, it looks like a box. Well, it's 4 sides, and it could be something like this. Let's make that one a little longer. And finish it off just like this. There we go. There we go. We used to think of it having 4 right angles. 4 right angles here and such. All right. Now, this one's a little more interesting problem because we're starting with a perimeter of 40. Now, I'm just going to use some randomness here. All right. Let's suppose that I put 8, 8, 12, and 12 here. All right. So in other words, remember we have these 2 sides are congruent, opposite sides are congruent, and these 2 sides are going to be congruent. They're going to be the same length. Perimeter, I believe, it adds up to 40. What's the area? The area is going to be 12 times 8, which is a pretty healthy number. That's your times tables, folks. 12, you got 96. Got 96. Well, that was interesting. What if we did 11 and 9 here? All right, so what if we chose our length to equal 11 and our width to equal 9? So in other words, we're going to lose these, and first of all, everybody says, well, does that add up to 40? Well, 2 of them will. If you add 22 and 18, you're going to get 40. But what's our area here? Now over here, the area was 12 times 8. Over here, the area is 11 times 9. And that bumps me up a little bit more space. Now you say, what's that about, Ernie? Well, that would be sort of the, so to speak, if you had, say I had a dog running free in this pen, maybe it was an animal pen or something, you've given them 96 square feet to run around in here, and over here you've given them 99. You've given them a little bit more room. I guarantee it's not that much probably, but hey, that's 3 extra square feet, all right, that you picked up from here. By the way, our square feet or square yards or whatever the measurement is, we didn't say here, did we? So my question is, can we get a combination of that area that will take it even higher? All right. And my thought is, let's see what happens when we do the length being 10 and the width being 10. And some of you say, well, Ernie, that's not a rectangle. All the sides are the same. Oh, wait a minute, folks. That makes a square. That's going to make a square, maybe a rhombus. He certainly knows it's going to be a rhombus, but we're talking about a rectangle with these measurements, so we're going to put it in. Is a rectangle with 10, 10, 10, 10 a square? Is the square the rectangle? Yes, it is. Now, will all rectangles be a square? No. But folks, all squares are rectangles. Now let's see what happens when we run the area of this thing. The area is going to equal to 10 times 10, and this time we're at 100. I just added 1 more square foot for that dog to run around in. All right? So in looking at this, the question comes back to it. Here was 96, here is 99, and folks, that's as high as I can go, because if I start even just bouncing off a little bit, you know, so what would happen, let's say if I did 10 and a half times 9 and a half? Well, it'd be a little bit more than 99, but it still wouldn't be quite at 100. Wouldn't be quite there to 100. So you get the idea. The length and width have to basically add up to 20 here, but they've also got to we're trying to figure out what the maximum area could be. And folks, right there is where it is. It happens when that rectangle becomes a square. Now, that's just kind of playing around today. A little play around problem, but I noticed that this is one of the relationships that we're establishing in our 4th and 5th grade math classes, all right? So important little thing there.
For more math help, visit TNLearn.org.